Tyler Raines was just a quiet 17-year-old boy when the world saw him pull the trigger on video in his own kitchen, killing his mother, Heather Raines. Within hours, he became the most hated teenager in America. But what no one knew was that Tyler wasn't even there. What they saw wasn't real. It was a lie, crafted with precision, fueled by revenge, and designed to destroy. On August 17, 2021, the small suburb of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, woke to chaos that no one could have predicted. It began with a single video posted in a local Facebook community group. The clip was less than 20 seconds long, but it sent shockwaves across the internet. In the footage, a woman was seen arguing with a teenage boy inside a modest, well-lit kitchen. Her voice was loud, panicked, calling out a name, Tyler. Then, without warning, the boy raised a handgun and pulled the trigger. The woman collapsed instantly. The video ended abruptly as the screen turned to static. What made the footage more chilling was its realism. It didn't look staged or acted. The lighting, the emotion, the sound, it all felt disturbingly genuine. Within hours, thousands of people had viewed the clip. It spread beyond Minnesota, picked up by national news outlets and crime blogs. Journalists were quick to identify the victim as Heather Raines, a 49-year-old single mother and local high school teacher known for her kindness and commitment to her students. The young man in the video, people believed, was her son, 17-year-old Tyler Raines. By the time police arrived at the Raines residence, the story had already reached every corner of the internet. Heather's lifeless body was found in the same kitchen scene in the video, with a gunshot wound to the chest. The kitchen layout matched. The clothes matched. The details were exact. The footage hadn't just shown a crime, it appeared to show the exact moment it happened. What puzzled officers immediately was how the video had made it online before they were even dispatched. The call to 911 had come from a neighbor who heard the scream and the shot, yet somehow the video had already been uploaded by then. The account that posted it used a fake name and disappeared within an hour of the video going viral. Even so, screen recordings and reposts ensured it remained accessible, and soon, Tyler Raines' face was on every news channel and website. Authorities issued an Amber Alert-style bulletin for Tyler, labeling him armed and dangerous. But while the public was convinced of his guilt, detectives on the case were not so sure. Something about the video felt too polished, too perfect. Surveillance from nearby homes showed no sign of Tyler leaving or arriving that day. No witnesses had seen him. And most importantly, his phone had last pinged from a rural camping ground over 200 miles away, where he had been attending a school-sponsored wilderness trip since the night before. Still, police couldn't ignore what everyone else saw: a face, a gun, and a murder captured on video. Public pressure was intense. Crowds gathered outside police stations. Online forums exploded with theories and rage. Schools cancelled classes, fearing violence or retaliation. In less than a day, a teenage boy had gone from anonymous high schooler to one of the most hated people in America. But beneath the outrage and fear, a more sinister question was beginning to form: what if the video wasn't what it seemed? Tyler Raines was nowhere to be found. As the video of his alleged crime continued to circulate online, law enforcement worked around the clock to track his movements. They followed leads from social media tips, reviewed traffic and surveillance cameras across the state, and called in digital forensic experts to trace the source of the disturbing footage. Despite the overwhelming certainty of the public, the case against Tyler was already beginning to unravel behind the scenes. The first break came from his school. A teacher confirmed that Tyler had boarded a bus with 15 other students and 2 chaperones the night before the murder. They were headed to a remote wilderness retreat as part of a school program. The campsite had poor cell service, which explained why Tyler hadn't seen the news or responded to calls. When contacted, the chaperone was stunned to learn what had happened. She insisted Tyler had never left the group and was present at the camp during the time of the murder. This raised serious doubts. If Tyler had been more than 200 miles away when the video was supposedly recorded, how could he have been at the scene? Authorities quickly obtained GPS data from his phone, which confirmed that it had remained in the camping area the entire night and into the morning of August 17. Cell tower logs placed him hours away from the crime scene at the exact moment the gun was fired. Still, the public didn't know any of this. Social media users posted side-by-side images from the video and school photos of Tyler, pointing out similarities in posture, height, and even the clothes. Online vigilantes claim to have found proof of his guilt based on old tweets and gaming usernames. Conspiracy theories exploded across forums and YouTube channels, framing Tyler as a troubled teen hiding a violent streak. Some even accused the school trip of being a cover-up. Meanwhile, the police were caught in a difficult position. On one hand, they had a video that seemed to show Tyler committing murder. On the other, they had rock-solid evidence proving he couldn't have physically been there. With pressure mounting, investigators made the unusual decision not to issue a formal warrant for Tyler's arrest until they could reconcile the conflicting data. Back at the crime scene, they began reconstructing the timeline. The house's internal security camera, the same one that captured the now infamous video, had been tampered with. It had been disconnected just minutes after the shot was fired and reconnected hours later. Strangely, the original footage stored on the device was gone. Only the version that had been shared online remained, and it was uploaded not from the house, but through a separate server linked to an anonymous IP address. As these pieces came together, one terrifying possibility began to emerge. The video might not be real. Or at least, it might not be what it appeared to be. Someone had gone to extraordinary lengths to create a video of a murder that was both convincing and deeply misleading. And the deeper the investigators dug, the clearer it became. Tyler Raines wasn't just missing, he was being framed. The deeper investigators examined the now infamous footage, the more anomalies they found. At first glance, the video seemed flawless. A boy raises a gun, a woman screams, a shot is fired. The moment was raw, emotional, and terrifying. But experts brought in to analyze the video noticed small inconsistencies that the public had overlooked. There were subtle glitches in the lighting, odd shadow movements that didn't match the kitchen's layout, and unnatural head tilts that looked just slightly off. It was all nearly imperceptible to the untrained eye, but to digital forensic analysts, it was a red flag. Investigators sent the video to a federal digital forensics lab for a full breakdown. Within 48 hours, the results came back, and they were shocking. The video had been manipulated using deepfake technology. Advanced software had superimposed Tyler Raines' face onto the body of another individual. Frame by frame, the movement of facial features, skin tone blending, and eye alignment were inconsistent with natural human behavior. The voice calling Tyler had been spliced in from a separate source. It was a digital illusion, powerful enough to fool millions, but now unraveling under scrutiny, this discovery changed everything. If the video had been altered, then Heather Raines' killer was still unknown and still free. The question shifted from why did Tyler kill his mother to who wanted the world to think he did. Suddenly, the crime wasn't just a murder. It was a sophisticated digital setup. Investigators began by tracing the source of the uploaded video. The anonymous account that posted it had used a burner device routed through multiple proxy servers to hide its origin. However, a forensic trace of metadata revealed one overlooked detail: a partial GPS coordinate had been embedded in the video's file. It led authorities to a small rental property on the outskirts of Minneapolis. Surveillance from nearby showed a man wearing a hat and sunglasses leaving the property a day before the murder, his face mostly hidden, but his build familiar. Meanwhile, detectives re-examined the hacked home security system. The camera itself had been tampered with physically. Someone had accessed the hard drive, removed the original footage, and uploaded the deepfake in its place. Whoever had done this wasn't just tech-savvy, they were meticulous and had planned each step to avoid detection. This led police to review Heather Rain's past more closely. In the months before her death, she had reported multiple cases of harassment. Someone had slashed her tires, stolen her mail, and hacked into her email. She believed she was being watched, but the police hadn't taken it seriously. Now, it looked like she'd been right all along, with Tyler still in hiding for his own safety and now officially cleared. Investigators were no longer chasing a teenage suspect. They were chasing a professional manipulator, someone with a knowledge, motivation, and cold determination to stage a murder, rewrite reality, and nearly get away with it. With the deepfake confirmed and Tyler officially ruled out, the investigation pivoted sharply toward motive. Someone had carefully engineered a digital illusion to implicate a teenager in a murder he didn't commit. That required not just technical knowledge but intent, a reason to frame Tyler and remove Heather Rains from the picture entirely. Investigators turned their attention to Heather's personal life, and what they found painted a darker, more complicated picture. Heather had recently finalized a bitter divorce from her ex-husband, Patrick Rains. The separation had been far from amicable. According to court records, Patrick had fought aggressively for custody of Tyler, citing Heather's emotional instability and obsessive behavior. But the judge had awarded full custody to Heather after Tyler himself testified against his father. Friends of Heather recalled how she had feared Patrick might retaliate. She had even changed the locks on her doors and installed the very security system that was later hacked. In hindsight, it seemed like she knew something was coming. Financial records revealed that Patrick had been in significant debt. His business had collapsed during the pandemic, and he was behind on both mortgage payments and personal loans. However, Heather had maintained a life insurance policy with a $500,000 payout, of which Patrick was still listed as a secondary beneficiary. The only condition for his access to the funds was that Heather passed away and Tyler was deemed unfit or unable to receive the benefit himself. In the aftermath of the viral video, Tyler's legal status would have disqualified him from collecting. That raised red flags, but Patrick hadn't acted alone. The investigation revealed he had recently started dating a woman named Eva Monroe, a 36-year-old former IT consultant with a criminal history. She had served time for identity fraud and illegal surveillance. The pair had met online during Patrick's divorce proceedings and quickly moved in together after the papers were signed. Eva had technical skills far beyond the average person. She knew how to scrub digital trails, spoof signals, and manipulate data. Her fingerprints weren't found at the crime scene, but her background made her a prime suspect in the creation of the deepfake. Digging into Eva's online activity, authorities discovered a series of encrypted messages sent from a laptop registered under a false name. The messages outlined a plan to eliminate the problem and make the boy disappear digitally. One chilling message read, "Nobody will believe he didn't do it if they see it with their own eyes." Investigators traced the device's purchase to a store near Patrick's last known location, and security footage confirmed Eva was the one who picked it up. With mounting evidence, police placed both Patrick and Eva under surveillance. They watched as the couple met secretly with a contact suspected of helping distribute the altered footage through multiple accounts. What had once looked like a spontaneous tragedy was now clearly a calculated plot. Heather Rains hadn't just been murdered, she had been targeted, silenced, and used as part of a digital frame job. And the people behind it had nearly succeeded. The surveillance operation on Patrick Rains and Eva Monroe paid off quickly. Investigators observed their movements, tracked their conversations, and quietly collected the evidence they needed. It didn't take long before Eva slipped up. She used a burner phone to access an encrypted server connected to the same anonymous account that had uploaded the original murder video. That alone wasn't enough to arrest her, but it allowed authorities to secure a search warrant for her devices and home. What they uncovered would finally expose the full extent of the conspiracy. Inside Eva's apartment, hidden within a folder on her personal laptop, investigators found the deepfake project files. There were layers of edits, raw video of an unknown man walking through Heather's kitchen, overlaid with Tyler's facial expressions extracted from various online sources, including a video diary he had once made for a school project. There were also rehearsal files showing different versions of the murder scene. Each test was slightly more refined than the last. Eva had crafted the perfect illusion, one designed not only to deceive law enforcement, but to go viral and destroy Tyler's life in the process. More incriminating was a hidden document labeled PlanFinal.docx. It laid out the entire timeline of the murder, including when to stage the break-in, disable the camera, plant the manipulated footage, and schedule the upload to social media. There were even notes about media engagement, how public opinion would turn against Tyler within hours and how the chaos would create just enough time for Patrick to collect the life insurance payout before anyone noticed the inconsistencies. When Eva was arrested, she broke quickly under pressure. Faced with the overwhelming digital evidence, she confessed to helping plan and execute Heather's murder. According to her, Patrick had been the mastermind. He was the one who hated Heather, who resented losing custody of Tyler, and who desperately needed money. Eva admitted that Patrick had personally killed Heather while she handled the digital manipulation and video upload. They believed that if the video went viral before police could investigate properly, the public would act as a jury, and Tyler would be condemned in the court of public opinion. Patrick denied everything. He claimed Eva had acted alone and that he had no knowledge of the plan. But the evidence told a different story. His fingerprints were found on the casing of the bullet retrieved from Heather's body. Security footage showed him near her house 2 nights before the murder, despite him claiming he hadn't seen her in weeks. A deleted text message on his old phone read, "Tonight's the night. Make it believable." In the end, both Patrick and Eva were charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and cyber-related crimes. Tyler was finally cleared publicly and returned home, though the damage to his reputation and mental health would linger. The case made headlines for months. It was one of the first murders in U.S. history where deepfake technology had been used as a weapon. It served as a chilling reminder of how easily truth can be manipulated and how quickly lives can be destroyed by lies engineered to look real.